Smokey Robinson, American singer-songwriter and record producer. Born February 19th, 1940, age 85. Detroit, Michigan, United States. Spouse, Frances Gladney, SM 2002. Claudette Rogers Robinson, NSR 1959-1986. Music group The Miracles, 1955-1972. Children, Tamla Claudette Robinson, Trey Robinson, Barry William Baropi Robinson. Parents, Flossie Robinson, William Robinson. Net worth, $150 million. Personal life. Robinson married fellow Miracles member Claudette Rogers in 1959. The couple had 2 children, a son, Barry Robinson, born 1968, named after Motown's founder, Berry Gordy, and a daughter, Tamla Robinson, born 1971, named after the original Tamla label set up by Gordy that later became Motown. According to Robinson, he had affairs with multiple women while married to Claudette, including a year-long affair with Diana Ross. Robinson claims that Ross ended the affair because she felt uncomfortable, given her friendship with Claudette, whom Robinson admitted he still loved. A representative for Ross had no comment on Robinson's claim. Robinson believes that loving multiple people simultaneously is natural. Robinson also fathered a son, Trey, born 1984, with another woman during his marriage to Claudette. After admitting to this, Robinson filed for legal separation and later divorced Claudette in 1986. The couple had separated earlier in 1974, and during that time, Robinson had an extramarital affair, which inspired the song The Agony, the Ecstasy, later featured on A Quiet Storm. In May 2002, Robinson married Frances Gladney. They own a home in Pittsburgh, which they also use as a winery. Robinson has not eaten red meat since 1972 and practices transcendental meditation. He has golden green eyes, which he believes were passed down from his French great-grandmother. Beginning in November 2023, Robinson became the owner and host of the Sirius XM channel Soultown, a station that plays R&B and soul hits from the 1950s to the early 1980s. Under the banner Smokey Soultown, Robinson occasionally appears on the channel, sharing his best moments with Motown, meeting other artists, and selecting his favorite songs from that time period. Early life and early career. William Robinson Jr. was born to an African-American father and a mother of African-American and French descent in a poor family in the North End area of Detroit, Michigan. His parents divorced when he was 3, and he was raised by his mother along with 2 maternal half-sisters. Robinson's ancestry also includes Nigerian, Scandinavian, Portuguese, and Cherokee roots. His Uncle Claude gave him the nickname Smokey Joe when he was a child. Robinson explained the origin of the nickname in 2012, saying, "My Uncle Claude was my favorite uncle. He was also my godfather. He and I were really, really close. He used to take me to see cowboy movies all the time when I was a little boy because I loved cowboy movies. He got a cowboy name for me, which was Smokey Joe. So from the time I was 3 years old, if people asked me what my name was, I didn't tell them my name was William. I told them my name was Smokey Joe. That's what everyone called me until I was about 12, and then I dropped the Joe part." When Robinson was 10, his mother passed away, and he began living with his older sister Geraldine and her family, which had 10 children. He attended Northern High School, where he was an above-average student and a determined athlete. However, his main interest was music, and he formed a doo-wop group called the Five Chimes. Robinson and Aretha Franklin lived just a few houses apart on Belmont Street. He recalled that he had known Franklin since she was about 5 years old, having overheard her playing the piano when he went to visit her older brother, Cecil. Robinson's musical interests began at an early age when he listened to groups like Nolan Strong, the Diablos, and Billy Ward, and his Dominoes on the radio. He was heavily influenced by Barrett Strong, another Detroit native. In 1955, Robinson formed the first lineup of the Five Chimes with childhood friend Ronald White and classmate Pete Moore. 2 years later, the group changed its name to the Matadors and included Bobby Rogers. Eventually, Claudette Rogers, Bobby's cousin, joined the group and later married Smokey. In 1958, Marv Tarplin joined as the group's guitarist. The Matadors began performing at Detroit venues, and soon after, the group changed its name to The Miracles, career, The Miracles in Motown. In August 1957, Robinson and The Miracles met songwriter Berry Gordy after a failed audition with Brunswick Records. Robinson had brought a big 10 inches notebook containing 100 songs he had written in high school. Gordy was impressed with both Robinson's vocals and his ambitious songwriting. With Gordy's help, the Miracles released their first single, Got a Job, an answer song to the Silhouettes' hit Get a Job on N Records, marking the beginning of a long and successful collaboration. During this time, Robinson enrolled in college to study electrical engineering in January 1959, but dropped out after just 2 months due to the success of the Miracles' first record. Berry Gordy eventually founded Tamla Records, which became Motown. The Miracles were one of the first acts signed to the label, having already been working with Gordy prior to the formation of Motown Records. In late 1960, they recorded their first hit single, Shop Around, which became Motown's first million-selling record. Between 1960 and 1970, Robinson wrote, produced, and performed 26 top 40 hits with the Miracles, including hits like You've Really Got a Hold on Me, Mickey's Monkey, I Second That Emotion, Baby Baby Don't Cry, and their only #1 hit during Robinson's time with the group, The Tears of a Clown. The group also produced hits such as Ooh Baby Baby, Going to a Go-Go, and the multi-award-winning The Tracks of My Tears. In 1965, the Miracles were the first Motown group to change their name to Smokey Robinson the Miracles. Between 1962 and 1966, Robinson also became a major songwriter and producer for Motown, penning hits for artists such as Mary Wells, Two Lovers, You Beat Me to the Punch, The Temptations, The Way You Do the Things You Do, My Girl, Since I Lost My Baby, Marvin Gaye, Ain't That Peculiar, I'll Be Doggone, and many others. After the rise of Holland Dozier Holland and Norman Whitfield's team, Robinson's role as a top writer and producer at Motown declined. However, he continued to write music for the label, including songs like First I Look at the Purse, The Contours, and Stillwater Love, the Four Tops. By 1969, Robinson decided he wanted to retire from touring to focus on his family and his role as Motown's vice president. However, the success of Tears of a Clown kept him with the group until 1972. His last performance with the Miracles was in July 1972 in Washington, D.C.,